Thank you, Lalit, for coming for the Moneycontrol Startup Conclave. And if I'm not wrong, this is your first interview after beating Zerodha. Don't be shy, the numbers speak for themselves. You have gone past them.
Thank you for inviting me, Chandra.
But what about that milestone? What does it mean for you? You just came from behind and boom, you've now gone past Zerodha.
See, we don't think about it too much. See, the thing is, we started with a mission. And I think we are not even like 1% of that. So there's a lot to be done. And number of customers and so on. These are kind of, it shows that how much impact you have created, but they are also kind of vanity metrics, right? So, yeah, I mean, there is a purpose and there's a long way to go there. And we continue building every day.
That's a very founder-like answer that, this is only day zero, day one. But, I mean, it didn't mean anything for you all internally that, we have kind of upstaged the incumbent. See,
again, these are like, again, we don't think like that at all. Like, we have very high respect for all the folks in the industry because this industry is not like win-lose industry, right? When the industry is growing, the financial services market in India are growing, and they are very old, and many players, and all of us are contributing in building, right, making India kind of great by providing access to financial services, making them simple, transparent, and so on. So it's like a kind of a win-win race, I would say.
Right. This has been quite a milestone year for you, Lalit, since the time you were incorporated and you, of course, come from the Flipkart vintage. There's been a lot of positivity. As you mentioned, this is a booming space. More and more retail investors are coming into the market. We're seeing that for ourselves. But on the flip side, this is also something that's attracting the attention of regulators. SEBI, for instance, has come up with new norms when it comes to F&O trading. There's expected to be more that's coming. So there's good news and bad news for you. What do you make of the current market right now when it comes to discount broking? Do you see a slowdown in momentum because of these changing regulations?
See, very simple answer is I don't know, but now let me give you a longer answer. The primary purpose of regulator is to protect investors, ensure that there is no risk in the system, like, reduce risk in the system, and of course then grow the markets and so on. The protecting the customer part we share, so Groww, our goal is to basically make our customers' lives better, right? Protect them and so on. So a lot of incentives are aligned long term, right? And I think when markets become better, when markets become more kind of resilient, more robust, you you have a kind of, higher growth potential for future as well, right? Because we are part of market, like markets, we are slaves to the markets, right? And if markets are good, then you are good and so on, right? So I think long term, I think it's for everything is for greater good, right? I don't know if that answers your question. Short term.
Just how you're going to future-proof yourself, because I mean, everybody has now spoken about F&O, how there is, too much of activity there from SEBI to RBI to the government.
Yeah, so see, Groww is not an F&O company. Groww is a financial services company. They're like hardly 15% customers who do trading. And we also, our stance has been like, trading is a zero-sum game. Yeah. If there is a winner, there is a loser. Investing is a long-term game, win-win game, right? And that's been our stance. So if you're trading, then better be skilled about it. Like, what does it mean? If you don't know what you're doing, don't do it. Like anything in life. So we have, from that perspective, we build a lot of tools, responsibility, like, we encourage responsible trading and so on. That's from the customer point of view. From business point of view, it's like a multi-product, multi-business kind of, multiple businesses inside the org. And that's how you kind of write like any kind of hiccups or whatever. But ultimately, what matters is like, what matters is like, the betterment of the customers, right?
Right. Lalit, when you started up Groww, it wasn't, the first time that such an app was there, but the approach you took was very different. You decided that you will go after first-time users, and in order to do that, you spent a lot of time in educating them, creating content that would perhaps resonate with them. And many people believe that that has given you a big edge when it comes to searches on mutual fund on Google or how to invest, what is this, what is that. Most of the search results are Groww because you've invested in that. So talk us through that. How did you kind of come up with the fact that, this is what you will focus on? And what kind of insights can you share with us about these 20 to 25 Gen Z users? What makes them come back again and again to a platform?
See, I'll put it this way. So when we started based on customer feedback, right? So we started talking to our friends, our families, and so on. What are the challenges in investing and so on. And everything that we have done so far is based on the insights that we got from talking to customers. Even today, for example, our roadmap is based on what customers are asking. I'll give you a lot of examples, but this content thing was one of them, right? When we started in 2016, and within like very few months, we realized that, if you are planning to launch something and people are not even aware about it, that means nothing basically, right? Your product is at one place, but then education is very, very important. So we started creating a lot of educational stuff, right? Videos. And we ourselves used to do that. We started Ab India Karega Groww, which is like going to tier 2, tier 3 cities and so on. So that is the insight. And likewise, like if you look at all our decisions, all the products that we launched were mainly driven by what customers want. We started with mutual funds, regular mutual funds, which are like commission. Customers told, we need direct mutual funds. We moved to direct mutual funds. We did direct, then customers started asking for why are there no stocks on Groww? We launched stocks and so on. So likewise, we like all the features also. If you look at our product updates and so on, customers are very, very vocal about what they want on Groww. We get like hundreds of emails. So that's a long answer, but to answer your question on this content part, it was mostly about building what customers want.
Right. Lalit, you're also someone who kind of travels extensively through India, to meet customers in, say, tier 2, tier 3 towns. What are you picking up from there? Why are so many people excited about the markets? What kind of users are you seeing? Are you seeing more and more people come in from smaller towns when it comes to investing in the capital markets?
Yeah, so there is wealth. So India is not just metros, right? India is the biggest error that folks like me can make is like sitting in Bangalore office and like, building imagining what everybody wants. And going out helps in figuring that out, right? And you get like insights all the time. As a company, we have visited like more than 150 cities in last kind of 4-5 years. And I personally have been to some of them and so on. So, the main thing is that, of course there are like a lot of minor insights, but the biggest thing is that, the access is missing. Access was missing. And internet and...
I think it was the jam, Geo plus the jam effect that kind of was a game.
Yeah, so we are living in a time when multiple things came together and created like this path for all of us, right? Where there is internet, there is Aadhaar, there is, there are
KYC.
Folks like us, and then EKYC and awareness and education and everything. And then suddenly you have access, whatever was available to a very high net worth individual is now available to you, right? That is a big kind of barrier that gets broken. And that's an opportunity, right? And we just kind of, we were lucky to take advantage of that tailwind.
was it just luck or was it something else? What would you say was the key differentiator for you?
So for Groww, I think of course, luck is the biggest thing in life, which we kind of don't give so much credit to. But for Groww, I think the biggest thing was we just kept listening to customers. And I also believe that if we continue working in the way we are doing, I think we'll continue doing good. Like our customer roadmap, like everything basically, the entire culture, the way we have built is like, just focus on the customer, understand. If we understand them really well, we'll continue building things that they want. Sometimes customers are not able to articulate what they want. So what they say is probably different from what they want, what they need, what they think. But if you understand them so well, if you have empathy, very deep customer empathy, you will be able to kind of understand them and build what they want. Some of our products are we are again very lucky that some of our products are like, customers are very vocal. For example, in stocks, customers will come and tell us, build screener for me or build I need this in your fundamental, in your product page. We were probably the first ones who had beautiful product pages where we give all the information, and they will come, oh, this thing is missing. Even something that we build, they will come and say, oh, this part is good, but you should improve this part, and so on. And we are just so lucky about it, right? Because of those customers, we kind of continue refining our product.
Right. Going forward, Lalit, what kind of other adjacencies do you see for Groww? Other branches of financial services where you will double down, I don't know, lending, UPI, where do you see Groww headed?
So when we started, we thought we will build full stack financial services company.
It was always supposed to be a full stack financial services.
Yeah, and that is where we are on the path. We started with mutual fund distribution. We launched, then we launched stocks. And then in broking, we covered a lot of other things, a lot of other products, including derivatives, IPO, and so on. And then we got into credit. We launched our own asset management, right? The only thing is that we kind of take our own time to launch anything new. We spend significant amount of time in building the product, understanding the customer, and then launching. So stocks, for example, we launched in 2020, but we started working on it in 2018, right? And
doesn't it put pressure on you to speed up the process if your competitors are faster?
See, I think in our industry, this is one thing that I always notice, that people talk about competitors a lot, but at Groww we don't think about competitors, because if you look at the entire India, what is the household network that is into let's say in markets? It's very small. What is the penetration of mutual funds? When we started, there were 20 million investors, and in a country of so many people, right? So if you are 0.01 or not 0.01, now it's much higher. But when we started, we were 0.0001. And if you ask me question, how do you think about competitor? I don't know how kind of it does not just kind of, I find it difficult to understand. Even today, for example, in multiple of our businesses, we are if you look at the penetration and where we are, there's a big runway for us.
Right. Last couple of questions for you, Lalit. From a 3-year point of view, what would be your biggest headwind and what would be your biggest tailwind?
I think tailwinds, India is going to grow.
So grow.
Right. Wealth of India is going to grow. People are looking for better experiences, and we are going to benefit that, right? So that's the biggest. So internet, awareness and all those kind of things, digital public infrastructure. So headwinds, you can just invert that. If there would be in the long run, there would be events that will kind of it will not be a straight line, basically, right? There will be ups and downs.
I would imagine regulation would be the biggest headwind, right?
See, regulations, again, as we discussed about those things, right? So regulation is always about customer, is about protecting customer and so on. And if you are also customer obsessed, And that is a greater good, like protecting customers, serving customers is a greater good than, anything else, right? I mean, what you need to do as a business is, okay, can you ride through bad times? Like COVID thing happened, right? In 20, nobody knew about it. So there can be bunch of things that can happen which you are not prepared for, right? So the thing is, if you're a startup, if you're a company, and if you can't pass through that, that becomes like a big problem, right?
Right.
But if you're prepared for kind of bad times, if you have enough cash, if you have enough kind of anti-fragility built into your business, then you survive.
Right. Last question. I know we are out of time, but I can't, let you go without asking this. You grew up in a small town in Madhya Pradesh. I think it was the only English medium school in the district.
Yeah.
Yeah. And after that, you went to the IIT. But your childhood, how did that shape you as an entrepreneur in terms of the way you attack problems, look at users?
So it was a very, very simple childhood, very small city. Grew up with my grandparents and very simple folks. Like my grandfather always used to say, "Sada Jeevan Uccha Vichar," which is like simple living, high thinking. And but the biggest, like if I look at from selfish angle perspective, the biggest advantage that I get living in a small town is that now being in Bangalore, I don't struggle in understanding somebody in tier 2, tier 3 city, right? So that kind of helps a lot. What else? I think there is also like the delta that you see from where you started and where you are also is like, that's like you see a lot of things, right? Now imagine if I were in Bangalore in a very comfortable kind of, so I would not have seen that path. Now I have seen that. So that also kind of adds some amount to your wisdom, which is probably kind of, I'm lucky to kind of go through that path.
Great. On that note, congratulations again, Lalit, on Grow's incredible growth. And here's wishing you more years of growth. So I think we've used all the puns related to Groww. But thank you all so much. A huge round of applause for Lalit.